What's up, drivers? Today we're going to talk about one of the things that I find probably the most controversial from the rideshare platforms, whether it's Uber, Lyft, pretty much any of the rideshare platforms we have out here or throughout the country. And that is the rating system. Now, Uber's rating system is, for some reason a little bit harder to get that 5 stars, at least in my experience. If you've had a different experience, please, share in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. My personal experience with the rating system, I find it's unfair. What do I mean by that? We tend to get blamed for situations that are completely out of our control. A lot of times, if a rider is in an area that has a lot of traffic to get to it, or they're in a rush, everybody, especially here in New York City, everybody's in a rush in the morning to get nowhere. And even though we're doing our best to try to get them there quickly and safely and efficiently, because it is in our best interest. The quicker we're done with the with one passenger, the quicker we can get on to the next one. That passenger might not see it that way. They might just be having a bad day altogether, and we get the blame for that. That's not to say it's usually a rare occasion, but they want us to go out of our way, which usually we do, to make these guys comfortable, and to do what we can to get the 5 stars or whatnot. And at the end of the day, it's just people that there's no winning with them. So I find that the rating system, it can be a bit unfair. Sometimes you get a bad rating and you don't know why. You don't know what they don't give you an explanation, because they don't really tell you who unless you get like deactivated or something. For perfect example, I got deactivated once off a Lyft call, and I contacted them right away and tried to figure out what was going on. And apparently the passenger said that I was drinking while driving. Now, mind you, I don't even really drink alcohol. I'll have a sip of wine here and there. I don't have time to go out binge drinking or what. But that's besides the point. I started thinking back. I took 3 calls that day. 3. All 3 of them gave me good vibes. I figured I would have gotten good ratings from them. I gave them positive ratings. So I find it odd. I started doing some research, and as it turns out, it's a common practice for some people to say that. What happens is they build a case against you, and they get their money back for that ride, not knowing the harm that you're causing to that driver by saying something so outrageous. And something that, because if that was really the case, by all means call the cops. If you're in an Uber or Lyft and your driver is drunk, call the cops. That why are you everything seemed completely normal. Now, I happen to have a video camera on that car. So I'm contacting them saying, okay, well, I can send you videos of the 3 passengers I picked up that day, and you can judge for yourself, and you'll be able to see me. In the video, you'll be able to see that I wasn't drinking. I mean, this is my drink of choice. Is you got to have my coffee black. There's no alcohol in that, and you be the judge for yourself. Thankfully, it didn't get to that point, but I feel that, I felt very defenseless against, because they just deactivated me pending investigation. And it took probably like 3-4 hours, but I have heard of cases where it's taken longer, cases where it's taken less. Many people have different experiences. So I know people who've gotten deactivated for, the very common one is the background check, which, it's one of those things where I have a very common name, for example, and ones I had the Uber background check takes an extra like 3-4 weeks, just because somebody with my name or similar name had wasn't allowed to be a driver on the rideshare app. Mind you, I've been driving for Uber for almost 10 years now. The whole thing with that is your rating system with Uber is every, I guess, 500 rides or something like that. Now I've been 4.99 forever. I don't know when it'll get to that 5-star or if it'll ever will. My suggestion or my advice is don't go crazy over it. I mean, obviously we have to stay over 4.85 to drive black car, but at the end of the day, if you do, it can and it will stress you out, and you cannot please everybody. There's no way you can make everybody happy. You try your best, you're courteous to people, you try to make sure you're an efficient driver, but that's all we can do. I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody's going to give you a bad rating for the day that they're having, that's on them. We have to, unfortunately, it's it comes with the territory. It's part of this job. So that being said, go out there and make that money, guys.